At this time, I'd love to invite Wayne up for his. Thank you. Let me introduce you here. Wayne Larsen, he is the founder of Flipshack. Please give it up for Wayne. He's going to share with us how movement, mindset, and entrepreneurship intersect in his journey from gymnastics to business ownership. Floor is yours. Great.
Do I actually need this?
Can you guys hear me? Oh,
I need it. Okay. Uh, is it- Thank you for the opportunity, James and Frank, and um, thank you for being here, Kim. Uh, I am not a public speaker, and I find this exercise very challenging to construct a narrative of the last 18 years, and I could pick 100 of them. So I'm going to share a few things along my journey that I hope provide value. In 2000, I call up my, at the time, employer of 9 years I was working for at Ariel's Gymnastics as a coach. And it was a Saturday night, and I lift a very heavy phone, and he answers, and I say, "Tom, are you busy?" He says, "I have dinner guests, but what's up?" And I said, "Well, I need to tell you something. And every time I see you, I act like everything is okay, but really that's a pretense. Over the years, you've made promises to me that you didn't fulfill. And instead of confronting you, I took my resentment and I would talk badly about you with other staff members, thereby coloring your reputation in an unfair way. And I said, I'm committed to the kids I coach, but I'm not committed to your organization. And I've been stealing from you. So when I conduct private lessons, I pocket the money that I'm required to give you for rent, and I would justify doing that because I didn't get what I was told I would get. So he says, "Are you finished?" And I said, "Yeah." And he says, "Well, first of all, I want you to know I knew all those things." He goes, "But I didn't know until now it was a personal problem with me." And he went on to apologize. He went on to commend my action. He went on to offer me more money. And I said, "It was never about that, Tom. It was just about feeling valued." And so the next time I saw him later that week, he embraced me and said, "Did I lose you?" And I said, "No, man, you got me back." And that was an important experience because it taught me the power of integrity. And it taught me that I can manage burnout through communication. We all think that when we get burned out, what we need is a week on the beach. But really, what's happening is there's something in our way, and communication can solve that. In an instant, that connection can bring back an experience of being fully alive. And ironically, a few years later, he offered me the opportunity to manage his gym on 8th Street. And subsequently, I bought that a few years after that. So now, Ariel's was about the sport of gymnastics, a marquee gym. You would know a number of names that have trained there, famous people. But that was never my jam. For me, it was that 7-year-old kid that's standing on a bar and looking up at the next one with sweaty palms and trepidation and makes that jump and catches that bar for the first time, and that kid's world just pops wide open. So I set out to create a new paradigm, whereas I took all of the valuable technical high-level training that I learned at Ariel's, and I broke it down and reconstructed it as a fitness platform because this many people want to be gymnasts, but this many people want to move like a gymnast. So, and I spent an inordinate amount of time developing culture and really refining my vision and inculcating our staff. And we were off and running. And within the next like 7 years, we more than doubled the enrollment. We were receiving the financial fruit of operating under the most valuable principle of everybody matters. So then we were like, let's share the Flipshack love with another community. So we opened up a second location here at the Lincoln Center, 8 months into it, exceeding all of our targets. Life was great. Then the pandemic hits. Shut down for 16 weeks, started losing a lot of money. Workforce mentality changed. We were straining our staff. People slow to come back. And not only that, but I got divorced. And both my parents fell sick and I took care of them. And then they both passed away, and now I'm living alone for the first time in 25 years, and all of those demons are coming up. And I was a dark night in the woods for me, for sure. So, but I really leaned into that. I leaned into it. I developed a greater understanding of myself, and I realized I don't want to be old Chicago. I want to be Poor Richards, and bigger wasn't better. So we made a decision to close Lincoln Center, and we did that last April. We've now stemmed the bleeding, but we know that we have to heal that wound. And I'm grateful that Flipshack allowed me because I set out to build a business that worked for me and not the other way around. And I'm grateful that Flipshack allowed me the space and the time to really do what I had to do in my personal life. However, stepping as far back as I did from that company for as long as I did created some detriment. And so Flipshack still works, but that magic is not what it used to be. So Stephen King said, "Don't wait till the muse shows up." He says, you write every day. And then the inspiration will come from that action, put in the work. And I know that to be true. And I'm wiser now, and we have extraordinary systems in place, and we have extraordinary managers. But what's missing is my presence, and I'm coming back. And so the more time that I've been spending at Flipshack lately, the more effort I've been putting into it, that muse is starting to show up for me again. And I'm remembering why it is I started this company to begin with. And that's the story I want to tell to her. Thank you.